Hey everybody, guess what? I'm doing something really cool today, something I've never done. We're gonna do an interview at a bed and breakfast, and this bed and breakfast has got such a cool story. Let's go meet Kelly with the H.S. Clay House. Check it out. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to H.S. Clay. So the house was built in 1885 by a doctor named Hampson Strother Clay, and he and his second wife lived here, and they had 9 children. And at the age of 31, he died of congenital heart failure and left her alone to raise all 9 children here by herself. And the house was in the Clay family until to the mid 1940s, when she moved to live with a son, and it was the second owner who actually put in the first running water, central heat, and bathrooms, of course. And so the Clay family owned the house and lived here for many years without what we would think of as many of the modern comforts. After Dr. Clay died, his wife Marie raised all 9 children here in the house. There were 5 girls and 4 boys, and the 4 boys all became doctors, and at least one of the daughters became a nurse, but she put all of the children through college. And I certainly feel sometimes in this house the presence of strong women, because she would have had to have been really strong to have accomplished that, which would have been in the early 1900s. This room was added on sometime in the late 80s, early 90s, but it's a really wonderful space because it has a fireplace. You can see the original brick wall that would have been the outside wall when the house was built in 1885. There's room in here for groups to gather and watch TV. There's a table if someone wants to play cards or play games. So it's a very comfortable space. I love that many of the historical aspects of the home have been saved. For example, the transom windows are all still in existence. The beadboard is original. The fireplace is the original brick from 1885. The rooms all have high ceilings, and that was, the early form of air conditioning. The idea was that with the transoms and the high ceilings, it would keep the air moving. The window behind the sofa is the original window that dates back to 1885. It's amazing how great a shape it's in, considering how old it is. Dining room where breakfast is served, one of my favorite rooms in the house. And I love in the morning when guests sit down to breakfast and get to know one another, discover that they have friends in common, they have similar interests. To stand in the kitchen and hear the conversation is really wonderful. But if I had to pick a favorite room in the house, this would be it. This railing, the banister, the staircase is all original to the house. It dates back to 1885. And the previous owners told me that they had this completely restored. It was painted black when they bought the house, and I'm really glad that they refinished it back to its original oak finish, because it really is one of the jewels of the house. There are 4 bedrooms on this level. The 3 bedrooms right behind me are all part of the original part of the house. To my right would have been the master suite that is now the Pinot Noir room, and it has a 4-poster bed and a pretty duvet cover antique room, which, as you can see, has a lovely iron bed. It also faces the side of the house and overlooks the garden, and is filled with some pottery that I believe complements the linens.
All right, guys, this is really exciting. I love when somebody knows the history of their property, and Kelly is about to share what this property is all about. Here we go. There you go.
The center photograph is of Hampson Strother Clay, who is the doctor that built the house. And to the left is a photograph of the doctor with his wife Marie and 6 of their 9 children. And remember that after the 9th child was born, he died. And so it was Marie that raised all the children here in the house. But it gives you an idea of what the house looked like before the addition was put on. And then to the right, I have a pencil drawing or watercolor of the house as it looks today with the addition. This is the Chardonnay Room, And this is the largest of the 5 rooms. It has a very comfortable king-size bed. There is, in the turret space here, a nice sitting area. And it also has a brand new master bath that's been completely gutted and redone. So it has old world charm with modern day convenience. There's a lovely new shower, but it also has a beautiful clawfoot tub as well. The last room is the Cabernet Room, which was formerly an attic and was converted to the 5th guest room. So would you like to come on up?
Yes. Wow.
So you can see this room is tucked in under the eaves. And again, here's the other part of that fireplace downstairs that dates back to the 1800s. There's a lovely bed here that overlooks the school and the ridge beyond. And there's also a little bath tucked in. You can see it has a clawfoot tub and lots of charm. I bought the B&B in 2019, and when I bought it, my goal was really to create a B&B or a guest house that guests could come to and relax and kick back and enjoy themselves. And that's really kind of been my primary thought process around everything that I do. My logo has never underestimated the art of relaxation, and I really believe that to be true. And relaxation can take a lot of different forms. It could be as simple as sipping a cup of coffee on the deck in the morning, lingering over breakfast, hanging out at the pool and catching some rays, sitting in a patio chair, reading a book. There are lots of ways to relax. And sometimes we all need to just leave home and leave the to-do list behind. One of my favorite pieces in the house is this Brian Haynes print that I bought from Gallery Augusta. And I think it really looks good over the mantel. So the kitchen area is where the breakfast creativity happens. I like to use local ingredients whenever possible, what's fresh and what's in season. Some favorite things that I've made over the last few weeks. The peach crop this year has been amazing, and I have an amaretto peach French toast that I think is really, really good. I have recipes that I use squash and zucchini, vegetable packets, and I have a bacon and squash quiche that take advantage of a bumper crop of squash. I buy eggs from a local farm and use those whenever I can. It's always great to serve something that comes from the area, but I do vary my menu quite a bit. I like to try new things. I did a strawberry crepe pancake a couple weeks ago. That was a very different recipe, but it was really tasty and very light. I also try to tailor my breakfast if I have a bike group of, they're riding long distances, they need lots of lean protein, and so try to do something for them to incorporate as much protein as I can. I can also accommodate any kind of dietary requests if you're vegetarian or vegan or gluten intolerant. I've got lots of recipes that will work for those dietary needs as well. The house is a Queen Anne Victorian, and the cool thing about it, it has been updated so that it has modern amenities such as central air conditioning and central heat and comfortable new furniture, but it also has retained the charm of a bygone era with some of the transoms and the doors and the flooring, and so you can see when you're here, you can see the history of the house. One thing I'd like to say is that weekends fill up really fast, so book early. Weekdays are often great times to visit, and don't forget about the inherent beauty of this area. Some of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen have been in Augusta. The stars at night are just amazing, and when we get to fall, the color of the trees will absolutely blow you away. So it's a really beautiful place to visit. Augusta's tagline is a town for all seasons, and I really believe it's true. There's beauty in Augusta in each and every season. In the wintertime, it's absolutely beautiful to be here when it's snowing. The Katy Trails is a great place to take a hike in the winter. Klondike Park is also beautiful. The springtime brings all of the trees budding. The redbuds are absolutely amazing. In fact, the one over my pool never ceases to put on a great show. So spring is wonderful. Summertime, everything is green and lush and lots of flowers and the rolling hills, and summer's really pretty, and then fall with its magnificent colors just can't be beat. So it's beautiful year-round here in Augusta. So there are many, many things to do in Augusta, and I would begin by saying that if you only come for an evening, it's really difficult to fit them all in. So it really would involve a stay of at least a couple days or more to catch everything. So first off, one of the things to do that I think is really fun is visiting local wineries. And within a 45-minute drive, there are at least 20 wineries. There's some really great wines being made in Missouri, and anything from a sweet wine to dry wines. So visiting wineries is definitely at the top of the list. We're close to the Daniel Boone home, and it's actually more than just a home, it's an actual village. It's a great historic site. There are other historic sites to visit. There's great hiking at Klondike Park. Of course, we're on the Katy Trail. So there are plenty of things to do when you come and visit Augusta.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Beautiful, beautiful house.
Thank you.
And I know people are going to love it. When you come to Augusta, make sure that you stay at the H.S. Clay House. Look her up. It's fantastic.
Thanks.
Hey everybody, I am Randy Hobson. I am with DentSquad.com for all your dings and dents. Thanks for joining us today, and make sure to visit www.hsclayhouse.com to make a reservation for that awesome bed and breakfast. Thanks for joining.